If you want the most overpowered gear in Mists of Pandaria, the best mounts, the highest damage to flex in your next raid, gold is what you need. I've got you though, because this video, it's not just gonna cover the same old methods you've seen a million times before. These are brand new methods with much higher gold per hour than any profession, any open world gold farm has to offer. With that in mind, let's get rich right now. So the first method is the Heart of Fear Gold Rush. Diving right into one of the highest gold per hour methods in the entire game. This one is all about the new Heart of Fear raid. You play your cards right and your lockout might turn into a complete gold mine. See, Heart of Fear, it brings a ton of new loot, weapons, tier sets, but for gold making potential, what we really care about are those new 496 item level bind and equip bracers. See, every single class, they're gonna want to pair these bad boys because they're a huge upgrade over any of the rep bracers. The problem though is when you're doing your raid, you might only see one or two of these bracer drops in your entire 25 man. There just aren't enough of these bracers to go around right now. That is where our trash farming comes into play. Enterprising players, they're forming groups and farming as many of these bracers as humanly possible so they can turn around and flip them for 30, 50,000 gold each. This strat, it's pretty simple. You just set the raid to 10-man mode, you grab a tank, a healer, 4 or 5 big AoE DPS. Then you're just basically killing every single trash pack up until the first boss and resetting the raid. You get a bracer about every 5 or 6 runs or so, and you're getting tons of the epic patterns and greens as well. To really maximize profits, most groups they're hard-resing the first bracer, but the honorable thing would be to split the profits with your group from every bracer like a nice guy. A warning though, because trash farming Heart of Fear, it's really only going to be profitable the next couple of weeks, so form your group fast and make your fortune. So method number 2, Celestial Profits. Everybody knows the new Celestial Dungeons are a gear printer, especially for fresh characters. And spamming Celestial Dungeons is also the best way to progress your Legendary Cloak questline so you can get your Legendary Gem. But what people really don't realize is that just by queuing Celestials, you can generate a ton of raw gold per hour. We're talking the random Dungeon Finder gold, the daily quest, the new August Celestial currency, the greens, the lucrative epics, worth really big money. See, a lot of people at this point, they don't actually need the epics from the Celestials, but they really do need the currency. Every time a purple drops, you, if you're an enchanter, have a very high chance of getting an epic that you can disenchant into a shock crystal worth over 400 gold. Then, to double up your profits, you can get all that August Celestial currency you're earning, and you can turn around and spam buy the cheapest epic for your class. You could generate 5 to 8 shock crystals every single hour, 3,000 gold an hour, especially if you have fast tank queues or healer queues. Dungeons have really never been this profitable, ever. So method number 3, Boosting 2.0. You probably already know that level boosting has been my favorite gold maker in MOP. I've made over 300,000 gold from it. I'm gonna share everything I've learned in the last week or so to really improve my boosting, but also an arguably completely better new method. First, for Mogashen boosting, it's as simple as leveling a tank to 90, preferably a Blood DK, a Brewmaster, or a Guardian Druid. You grab yourself some PvP conquest gear from a couple hours of YOLO arenas. Then you DM a bunch of level 89 shamans, you offer them a reprieve, some free Mogashen Palace boosting if they heal you. Then you just temporarily slot the rest of the run with your guildies or random people, and you're continuously searching out as many customers as you can find, willing to pay 4,000 gold for 5 runs. As for the boost itself, I've really optimized this. I like to go clockwise around the entire first room. I get aggro on every single mob. Then I send all the healers and the DPS at this point into the slot in the hallway. That way they don't end up getting killed because they have a bunch of aggro for no reason. From here, you're just AoEing down everything in about 20 seconds, you're finishing the rest of the hallway, and you're resetting endlessly over and over and over again. Could probably have enough money to buy Blizzard at this point if you wanted. But let's say you hate constantly searching out new customers, your gear really sucks, you don't want to deal with healers. Well, there is a completely new boost that makes boosting more profitable and way lower effort than ever before. It's literally called Find a spot where there are a bunch of mobs and then charge people 8,000 gold an hour to sit there AFK while you kill everything. What's really cool about this new boosting method is that you can basically choose any farming spot that's already making a lot of money anyways. Something like the Windward Isle Turtles, everybody loves that farm. Straves and Townlong. You farm the mobs exactly like you would before. Then you just add in a customer from looking for group, and you're turning a 2,000 gold per hour farm into a 10,000 gold per hour farm with zero extra effort. Now that is a genius play. Now method number 4, BMAH Speculating. See, there is a massive hidden moneymaker right next to the entrance to Terrace of Endless Spring. You might know a little bit about it, the black market auction house. Think of it like a vendor that stocks rare and discontinued items. All you gotta do is bid on the right items, and you could walk away with 50,000, 100,000 gold in profits. On my server, all the items are getting restocked routinely at 11:30 p.m. server time. As for what items we're sniping, it is the brand new 509 item level bracers from Heart of Fear. The reality is these are only available at the black market auction house. They're not gonna drop as trash. So if you can manage to get, say, the Hunter version or the Plate DPS version for under 100,000 gold, they could easily be flipped for 150, 200,000 gold. Massive profit as well, making this one of the best gold making methods in the entire game. So method number 5, new raid farming. You know old raid farming is 5,000 gold an hour if you're going fast. But for some reason, I just haven't really cared. I get bored in the old raids. I don't have a lot of interest in farming them. The good news is that with a little bit of creativity, I've created a much more optimal route that really maximizes your raid profits in really the least amount of time. First, we're completely skipping the old raids like Naxxramas. I don't want to spend an hour in a dungeon killing endless bosses, even if it's giving 3,000 gold for a full clear, no thanks. I'm starting with prioritizing Magtheridon's Lair. Magtheridon's Lair is extra special because you're getting 650, 750 gold in just a few minutes every single week on all your characters. It is definitely the most efficient old raid in the entire game. Then I'm also going back to Sunwell Plateau every single week as well. The only downside is there are only about 7 classes that can actually get past Brutalis. But if you're one of the lucky ones, this is the second most efficient old raid to hit. It's gonna bank you 2,500, 3,000 gold in maybe 20 minutes. As for a third option, I really like doing Serpent Shrine Cavern. SSC, if you skip Lady Vash, is actually very efficient, and well worth the time in my opinion. You combine these 3 raids together and you're making over 6,000 gold in under an hour every single week per character. That's pretty sweet. So there's the blueprint. You've got those limited time methods to really take advantage of, like the Heart of Fear Gold Rush. You've got the more stable method, Celestial Dungeon Profits. The boosting is always insane. And of course, those old raids. These are 5 Jerome-approved methods to get rich as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, hit that like button, smash the subscription button, and get out there and farm as much gold as humanly possible.